Oh, there you go. So we both leave another one, leave it all. Really pretty. Out of the reach. I like to move it around. We have 6 bike trailers. 3 of them are. Yeah. Some of these, I don't know if I'm delivering without having.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our bike trailer along the field. We did the same thing. The 120 mile that is nowhere near the rest. Here, you. We're in one trailer we do for. It's still up, right? It's still up, right?
If you like to take off
I am. It's enough rain. Not doing it. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the 2025 Dawson County Swine Show. We're excited to have Cal Schultz here judging our show today. I'll give a little more details on Cal's bio here shortly, but we will be starting our classes pretty soon with this, starting off with the Junior Swine Show. Before we do that, we are going to do our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for a pledge, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. For my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Thank you for leading us with our pledges. We appreciate that very much. Our judge for today's show is Cal Schultz. Cal originally grew up in the Fair Board, Minnesota area, where he grew up in a diversified livestock operation. After graduating high school, Cal attended Butler Community College, where he obtained his associate's degree in agribusiness and competed on their highly competitive livestock judging team. The team amassed wins at the North American and Houston, resulting in a tie for the junior college livestock judging team of the year. He then transferred to Oklahoma State University, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in animal science and was a member of the national champion livestock judging team. Cal then served as assistant livestock judging coach at Butler Community College, while completing his master's degree in meat science at Oklahoma State University. Beginning in December of 2024, Cal accepted a role as a faculty member at the University of Nebraska, where he is the lecturer in the animal science department and head coach of the livestock judging team. Let's give a big Dawson County welcome to our judge, Cal Schultz. In the first class is Swine Show. We have 5 juniors competing. I'd like to congratulate Megan Walhowski. It's her first year showing hogs. The sponsor for the Junior 4-H Swine Show is the Hosick family. I'd like to thank the Hosick family for their years and years of service and sponsoring us. Thank you for them. And for all of our sponsors, if they could come down at the conclusion of each of these divisions so that we can picture in the southeast corner of the barn.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm excited to be here for day 3 of the Dawson County Fair. And out here in our junior swine showmanship, and then we have several individuals that are doing a nice job and working hard. But I do think that there's a couple in particular that probably are just doing a little bit better job of keeping their animal in the center of the ring, and then making sure that they're finding the open spaces while still maintaining eye contact throughout the show here this morning. I'll go out and pick our champion and reserve showman. But let's go ahead and give these kids a big round of applause.
And the junior swine showman, the champion, Owen Farr, and reserve champion, Grant Walhowski. In our junior swine showmanship, we have again the champion, Owen Fairley, and reserve champion, Grant Walhowski. Purple ribbon awarded to Riggs McConnell, and blue ribbons to Megan Walhowski and Alex Rickardson.
out here in our second heat for intermediate swine showman. We got a couple hogs out here in this class that are just loving the idea of being a show pig here this morning. But I still think that these individuals are doing a nice job of keeping their animals calm and staying composed and collected while they're out here in the ring. I do think one in particular is doing just a little bit better job of keeping their pig's head up and trying to present them to the best of their ability and then getting the right kind of looks when they can, when their animal wants to cooperate. But I'll go out and show you who our champion and reserve showmen are, but let's give these kids a round of applause.
In the intermediate division for swine showmanship, the champion is exhibited by Bristol and Conwell, and reserve champion by Augustus Barnes. At this moment, I'd like to recognize Parker Wallachowski. This is Parker's last year exhibiting at the Dawson County Fair. Parker is the son of Jared and Chris Wallachowski, and he will be attending South State University in wildlife and fisheries management, where he's going to be focusing on invasive species. Let's give a big congratulations to Parker on an outstanding 4-H career.
Here in our final division for our senior showmen, I think we have 3 individuals out here again that are working really hard. I think there's a couple that are doing a better job of just getting their animals heads up and driving and looking their best. But I do think one of them separates themselves in terms of always kind of being in the center of the ring and making sure that they have a good eye contact. A young man right there in front of me is going to go ahead and be our champion. And the young lady over here will be our reserve. Let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations to Parker Walowski, your senior swine showman, and to Paige Walowski, the reserve champion, and a purple ribbon awarded to Greta Richardson. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for the trophies. The juniors was sponsored by the Hosek family. The intermediates by Dawson County Farm Bureau. And the senior showmanship sponsor, PM Farms. Make sure you get a chance to thank these sponsors if you do business with them. And these things are very important for supporting our 4-H program. As we wait for our 2 classes of reading guilds, I'd like to take this time to thank our ringmen for helping out with the show today. Patrick Peterson is helped by his brother Evan and Drew Franson. So thank you, gentlemen, for helping us out with the show today. We'd like to thank some of our business partners for helping out with a variety of things, including Flatwater Bank, who has generously supplied us with all kinds of water. So if you are thirsty, come on down here near the entrance to the show table here, and there are coolers filled up with water. We'd also like to thank Plum Creek Marketplace. They will be providing watermelon here at the Stevenson Arena at 4 p.m. Again, thank you, Plum Creek Marketplace, who is providing watermelon at 4 o'clock.
Here to kick off our breeding guild show this morning. We definitely have three very different kinds of pigs out here in the ring. The young lady's guild that's going to go ahead and lead off with. I'll be the first to admit that she's probably just not a soft or pliable enough in her rib and her center body, but I still think like the breeding value and generating potential that she brings to the table surpasses the other two by quite a bit, because that's a stout skull, tall bladed kind of a hog that's big in her forearm. She's shapely and expressive up high. She's easily the densest in her bone work down low, and the most comfortable and coordinated way that she pushes and plants up either end of her skeleton. A nice one to go ahead and lead off with. The young man in Turford, Mark Gill, is going to come here in second. That's a wide constructed bolt body hog that's got some muscularity and dimension to her. She just needs to be stouter in her bone work and neater in the way that she's designed from the side for her to compete with our class winner. And then the red mark, or the solid red pig that's going to round out the class, arguably the softest bodied and loosest structured hog in this class. It's just coming right at you. She's too frail in her skull, narrow chested, and just closed up off either end. I need to see her quite a bit stouter for her to work up higher in this particular class. But let's give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Oh, yeah, we get your.
In our first class of breeding gilts, purple is exhibited by Bristol and Conklin, with Gus Barnes receiving blues in both of his.
Another interesting group of gilts out here in this particular class, but the young lady's wide belted gilt that's crossing the ring right now was the one I ultimately landed on to win. Driving at you, she's one of the wider constructed, more powerful gilts who still progresses wide out through her pin set going away. And then crossing the ring, she's probably just the neatest and most correct in her proportions from the side. She's extended ahead of her blade, tall bladed, and really level out through her hip and square, and how she pushes and plants out of her rear leg. A nice one to go ahead and lead off with. A young man's chromed up gilt directly in front of me is the one that's going to end up here in second. Probably the densest and most powerful gilt out here in this particular class. She's stout about her jaw. She's opened up in her chest and her blade. She's the most powerful one going away as well. It's just when she turns the corner and she crosses the ring where we need to fix the way that her skeleton's put together. She's a lower fronted gilt that's rounder out through her hip and has too much set built into her hog. Just read rounder and plainer in the way that she's designed from the side. A young man's gilt on the far side is the one that's going to end up here in third. A really shapely, expressively muscled kind of a hog that's got a lot of turn over her loin and is stout out of her upper hip. It's just coming and going where she needs to be opened up underneath. She wants to come in there at her knee. She's flatter at the base of her rib cage. She kind of funnels to the surface going away. I still want to soften her up from the side. And then the gilt that's going to round out the class is the highest performing gilt in this particular drive. She's big and soft in her rib. Just too plain out here compared to the other ones. Need to freshen her up, make her neater and more attractive in the way that she's designed from the side. I still want to see her more expressive in her muscle shape going away. I'm still a nice group of gilts in that particular class.
In her second class of breeding gilts, first purple was awarded to Meg Wallowski, and purple ribbon awarded to Owen Fairley. Blue ribbon to Parker Wallowski and Alex Ricketson. Our judge, Cal Schultz, who's the livestock judging team and on faculty at the University of Nebraska, will now select our champion breeding gilt.
Out here in our champion breeding gilt drive, I think we have two stout, neat design hogs out here, but the gilt that came out of the second class is quite a bit further along and just her rib, her body, and the kind of power and dimension that she brings to the table. She's going to go ahead and be our champion. Let's congratulate her. We get the gilt that's second in that class out here in contention for reserve.
The champion was exhibited by Meg Wolohowski. The reserve champion breeding gift is exhibited by Bristol Conwell. I apologize. The reserve champion was exhibited by Owen Fairley. In our market swine competition, we'll be starting off with our market gilts, and we will have 3 classes, market gilts.
Just a single entry to kick off our market gilt show. The young man's gilt's got a rib and some body and some muscularity to her. Maybe doesn't have the same kind of look and design as a couple other ones that came out in the ring today. I would still a nice kind of a market hog for this young man. Let's put our hands together for him.
In our first class of market gilts, the blue ribbon was awarded to Gus Barnes.
nice trio of gilts out here in this class. But the young man's belted gilt's going to go ahead and win out here because when she comes out of the gate, it's one of the bigger chested gilts in this particular class, who's easily the biggest and most expressive in her blade and her forearm. She's got a ton of shape down the top and out through her hip. And then from the side, she's took proportions right in her look and design. And I just wanted to go ahead and lead off with a young lady's gilt that's going to end up here in second. That's against the rail is a dead scald kind of a hog who's got a lot of shape down her top and out through her hip as well. It's just when she's coming right at you, she needs to be opened up in her chest, square in her knee, and denser in her bone work to get around our class winner. A chromed up gilt that's going to round out the class that the young man's got. A neat design gilt that's soft in a rib. It just needs to be opened up either end of her skeleton and more powerful up high to compete with the two directly ahead of them. Let's give those exhibitors a round of applause.
Their second class of market gilts. Purple ribbons were exhibited by Riggs McConaughey, Paige Wachowski, and Owen Fairley.
Just a similar entry out here in a heavyweight market gilt class, and a really big, heavy, a really big, powerful, muscular kind of a gilt that's got a lot of dimension and stoutness to her. She's just a shot more mature and plain in the way that she's put together from the side, but I like where she's at from a market standpoint. Let's give her a round of applause.
And in our third class of market gilts, the purple ribbon was awarded to Greta Richardson.
As we get out here in our market gilt drive, I think we have several good picks out here, but there's a pair of them that of the more powerful hogs. There's a pair of them that I think are just a shot fresher and neater in the way that they're designed from the side. We're going to keep the pair of gilts out of class 2 together for champion reserve. Let's give them a round of applause.
Congratulations, your champion market gilt was exhibited by Riggs McConaughey, reserve champion to Paige Wachowski. We will have 2 classes in our market barrel division, and then we will follow that up with selection of the overall champion market swine. Following the champion selection for the market animal, we will have our carcass awards, and then our pen free.
Nice pair of berries to kick off this portion of the show. The young lady's belted bear is going to go ahead and lead off with the pair of hogs that I think both have ample amounts of power and dimension to them. She's got the neater design bear who, when he's crossing the ring, that's a heads up stout skull bear that proportions right from the side. He pushes and plants with the right kind of flexibility on either end of his skeleton. He's not as stout and dimensional as the bear that's going to come here in a second, but I still think that he's got more than enough to him. The bear that's going to round out this particular class, coming and going, he is more opened up in his chest. He's a shot more expressive in his shape up high, and he's particularly a square underneath going away. It's just from the side where he just reaches too plain in the way that he's put together. The level ear bear is just more runs downhill, wants to work up in his top and round out through his hip. You need to see him neater in the way that he's put together to get around our class winner. Let's give those kids a nice round of applause.
In our first class of market barrels, we had purples awarded to Bristol McConnell and Owen Fairley.
That's your dinner, you got one through, one more drive through, and you're. Yep. I said, listen, I will. Once again, you said you were sitting. Okay, so they're pretty close.
Another interesting class of three very different types and kinds of hogs out here, but the young man's bear that's in the center of the ring is one that's going to go ahead and lead off with. Coming out of the gate, that's the stoutest skull, biggest chested, densest forearm hog, who's just the most massive in his rib cage. He's got the most power and dimension down his top and out through his hip. I still think he flexes off either end of his skeleton. Definitely needs to be cleaned up in his hock joint and square going away. But when you take into account his extra power compared to the other ones in this particular class and the fact that he's still loose in his skeleton, it's enough for him to go out and win for me today. The young man's black bear that's going to come out here in second is easily the soundest structured hog. When he gets the whip on this one, that's a heads up, loose structured bear that's very flexible and correct up either end of his skeleton. I like how he's stronger footed and square going away when compared back to our class winner. It's just that same look where he needs to be stouter. He's quite a bit plainer in his shape up high and out of his hip compared to either of the bears in this particular class. A young lady's white bear that's going to round us out. Big, heavyweight kind of a hog. I like his expressive shape down his top and out through his hip. I need to see him square underneath coming at me. I want to see him stouter in his bone work as well. He's just shot rounder and plainer in the way it's designed from the side. I was still a good one from a carcass merit standpoint. Let's give those kids a round of applause.
In our second class, market bearers, we had purples awarded to Riggs and Combo and Grant Walhusky, and a blue ribbon awarded to Greta Riggs.
Out here in our champion drive for the market hogs, I think we have two nice design bears from the side that proportion right and have the right kind of quality look to them. But the young man's bear of the second class just kind of dominates this division in terms of just power, bone, and density. He's going to go ahead and be our champion. Let's congratulate him.
Your champion market bearer was exhibited by Riggs and Combo, and reserve champion will be selected next.
as we get the second place in that class out here, I think of the remaining pair of hogs out here, I think they both could benefit from just a shot more muscularity and power to them. But with that being said, I think the young lady's belted bear just hits me a little bit harder from the side, and his look is in design. She's going to go ahead and be a reserve. Let's give her a round of applause.
And the reserve champion green bear is exhibited by Crystal Conway. Judge Cal Schultz is now selecting our champion market animal. And in the ring, we have the Congo family showing. Both of these animals are exhibited by Riggs Congo.
As we get these champion market gilt and market bears out here, I think again, two really high quality kind of hogs in their own right. As longer the drive wears on, I think this bear's skeletal problems are probably starting to show just a little bit better. Definitely aware that it's not perfect in that regard, but I still think he kind of just dominates the show from just a power, bone, muscularity standpoint. So he's going to go ahead and be our champion. Let's congratulate him.
The champion, market swine, was exhibited by Riggs Congo, and it came out of the bearer division.
As we get the reserve bear out here again, like I said, in class and in division, I think he's a really neat design hog. But when you get into, I think both of these hogs out here are good from a skeleton and build standpoint. The market gale still probably just has more muscularity, shape, and power. So that's going to go ahead and be a reserve. Let's congratulate him.
And the reserve champion came out of the market gilt division, and congratulations to Riggs Congo. Before we move into the pen of three, we will have our exhibitors be bringing those animals down here, but we're going to have the carcass awards awarded shortly here, so we could have all exhibitors come down here, and we will be announcing our purple and blue and red ribbon awards for the carcass.
They're the top horse. With that, we'll just recognize the top horse.
If we could have Riggs McConville and Owen Fairley come to the ring. We had 17 market animals that were entered into the fair. And in the carcass division, it's based on percent lean. And so to receive a purple ribbon, you will have to have a percent lean of 62 or higher. Those that are below that will be receiving a blue ribbon, and those that did not meet the 230-pound minimum weight requirement will be receiving red ribbons. And in a ring right now, we have Riggs McConville and Owen Fairley, and they exhibited between Riggs had 1 and Owen had 3 in this division. And our champion, with a 63.84% lean, is exhibited by Riggs McConville. And congratulations to Owen Fairley, who had 3 hogs that received purple ribbons. Congratulations to Owen.
Good job, guys.
As we get organized here for a better 3 competition, I want to make sure we're doing a couple other things. First of all, again, thanks to Flatwater Bank for supplying water, and for Plum Creek Marketplace for supplying the water for the 4 o'clock feed. We'd also like to remind everybody in your fair packets, you have a series of tickets that we'd like to make sure you get a chance to put into use. They are for the ladies breakaway, and that will be Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And last night, I hope people had a chance to go to rodeo, and there's also another go around tonight please make sure you get use of your Platte Valley Auto Rodeo tickets. And finally, you should have a yellow ticket with some pink and green items, and that's for Moore's Breeder Shows. There's VIP complimentary wristbands. And just take your ticket and present it at the ticket booth, and for 4-Hers or the adults, if the kids don't want to, make sure you take in the Moore's Breeder Shows. I'd also like to thank Katie Wolf here. Katie's been doing a great job of keeping me on my toes and making sure we're keeping things organized. She's also been passing out ribbons today, so thank you, Katie, for being part of the show today.
Yeah, exactly.
They may be. They may not. Like, they did.
Yeah.
Out here in our pen of 3, honestly, we have two very competitive pens. The gilt over here to my left is paired up with the 2 over here all the way to the right, and that pen consists of the champion breeding gilt, a reserve market gilt, and then second in class Vera. So very competitive group. With the pen in the middle, did very well in the show as well as champion and reserve market animal with a reserve Vera. So that's a pretty tough group to get around. So the group in the middle is going to go ahead and be our champion. The groups on either end will be a reserve. Let's give them a round of applause.
If we could have the exhibitors be patient a second for issuing the ribbons and banners before you leave the arena.
Yeah.
And the results from our pen of 3 competition. First place was awarded to Horseshoe Bend and second to Sumner Livestock. We'll be wrapping up our swine show here with our Clover Kid exhibitors. So be patient here and we'll get that show going here in a moment.
I'm sorry, I'm here. I believe my oldest is. Mine is a dog. Mine's Ashton. And you know what? I'm just kind of Chase is showing white butt. Chase can't figure out which one that is.
Again, we're wrapping up our show here with our Clover Kids, and let's give a big round of applause to our two exhibitors, Chase Sorensen and Ashton Vanderschmidt. What I love about this division is the personalities of the kids and everything that they bring to the show, and part of that is the names of their two animals. So Chase is exhibiting White Butt, and Ashton Vanderschmidt is exhibiting Dot.
So we got Ashton and Chase out here in the Clover Kids show, and Ashton's been out here several times. I think she showed pretty much everything over the last few days, and she said that pigs were her favorite. And then Chase also has been out here with a couple other species, and I asked him which one's his favorite, and he said cattle were his favorite. I told him that's maybe not the best answer in the pig show, but when I was in Clover Kids showing pigs, I also said cattle was my favorite, so I guess we have something in common there. But let's go ahead and put our hands together for these kids for coming out and congratulate them.
And receiving our ribbons, our red, white, and blue ribbons are Chase Sorensen and Ashton Wonderson. One more time, let's thank our judge, Cal Schultz from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, where he's the head coach of the livestock judges team. Thanks, Cal.